All right, guys, let's go ahead and talk about this single arm kettlebell complex that we have for Tuesday's workout, which will be dated 11/7. Basically, we're going to go through a couple different stages utilizing one kettlebell and getting prepared for some overhead work. So, initially, we're going to start with a single arm kettlebell clean. So when we do this, just remember that the kettlebell needs to be slightly out in front to kind of form this triangle position in relation to my feet, right? That will allow me to cast it back and then load it to the front rack, right? So from the front, what that looks like, pretty straightforward. Let me scoot back just a bit. So set myself up, hike it back, load to the front rack, right? Now from here, I have a back step lunge, but it's very important that we lunge or step back with the opposite leg. So the fact that the kettlebell is in my right front rack position, my left leg comes back. Now we're in half kneeling. So from here I'm going to strict press from that posture, lock this in, eyes go to the bell, and I'm going to perform my windmill, placing my hand flat to the floor and supporting that weight, and then coming back to the top. Now from here, maintaining this arm as a foundational piece, nice and locked in, I'm going to overhead lunge back to a standing position, and then I'm going to perform my thruster overhead, bring it back to the front rack, back to the floor. And that's going to be 1 rep for tomorrow's workout, okay? As it's written, we have 2 on the right side, 2 on the left side. I'd recommend doing it exactly that way versus 1 right, 1 left, 1 right, 1 left. That way you can kind of find your rhythm a bit. So I'm going to go through it at kind of real-time pace so that you guys can kind of get a feel for how deliberate this should look and feel, okay? So here's our clean, back step lunge, half kneeling press, windmill, overhead lunge, thruster, back to the floor. Okay, so I'm not rushing anything. I'm being very deliberate about the thing that I have before I move into the next task or movement in the list. Okay. As far as kettlebell weight is concerned, this is pretty light for me, and I would encourage that people maybe grab a light bell and then something that might be a bit heavier in case they start to find their rhythm and they want to kind of bump up a little bit. But I would definitely encourage starting and potentially staying with something a little bit lighter so that we can really be detailed with our work. But that's going to be the kettlebell complex for, again, Tuesday's workout 11/7.